Just to get the Cowboys 2 good games to hopefully understand that they need to go receiver and go high with this next pick.
Yeah, that's really what this is gonna be about. All right. You looking live at Father and Son Cowboys and Sports Talks. I'm the host, Jules, Cowboy Jules, along with my dad, Cowboy Joe, 64, and along with our good friend B Bird and B Bird Cowboys. Y'all make sure y'all go follow his channel. I put all the channels in the description, so y'all should just be able to copy and paste both of those, and then give us a follow or give us a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. But yes, this is an official post game show, and so y'all want to say what's up to the people and go ahead and jump it off on this victorious Sunday.
Yeah, this is
You go ahead, B Bird.
okay. Yeah, this is B Bird Cowboys. A great time to come in after Cowboys victory and talk a little bit of Cowboys football to see to talk about what we saw and what we can do going forward to improve on what we saw today.
Yep, it was a really good game. So we just gonna kind of recap some of the highlights and see what the Cowboys did to improve this week. So we can just start off with the offense. I think everybody on the offense played well, especially Pickens. I mean, he's showing that he can definitely be a number 1A, 1B receiver. And offensive line, they had some hiccups, but I thought they played really well, and the running game was also looking good. And it's kind of what were your overall thoughts of the game, B Bird?
Yeah, I thought the game went really well. I think our formula has been over the few years. Hey, if we can get up early on you, now we can dictate what you can do. So we've always been kind of a front runner type defense. It really was kind of dependent upon our offense. I think that proved again today. But they did, even when the offense didn't have a great lead, they bowled up a little bit better. I think the last count we had them punting the ball or going on 4th down, not getting it 8 times. So our defense had 8 stops. That's outstanding versus what we've seen. I mean, we've seen some games where the punter never he got a paycheck, but didn't even have to punt the ball. So it's a big improvement on the game. We look at it from a macro level, just from the outside, the whole game. Great game for the Cowboys, good win. But what we're going to look at a little bit is just about how we can improve on this performance and carry this performance forward.
And I just noticed that the Giants lost. I actually thought they had won, so they lost. So we're probably in better shape.
Yeah, let me tell you, they lost in historic proportions. Denver scored 33 points in the 4th quarter. They had, I think they went down 32-30. Then the Giants missed an extra point, and they kicked off. They had one play for about 15 yards, and then they had another play for about 25 yards. And they had a 5-yard penalty on that. Then they had a chip shot field goal and they won the game. They started with like 37 seconds left.
And then looking at the schedule, Washington, they're playing Kansas City next week. So, we're in a pretty good spot. Now we just need to just build on this game. And Eberflus had a better game. I'm going to give him some credit. Still want to look at what he's going to be doing overall, but I thought the defense.
So with the defense,
he did dial up more plays. He had more pressure on the line, and then Deron Bland had a huge play. And Bland, there's a lot of Cowboy fans criticizing Bland. The guy's a pro. He tackles, plays physical. Of course, he makes plays on the ball. So I was happy to see him get one because he was getting a lot of criticism in the last couple of weeks, and it's kind of been a thing that I kind of question, people criticizing Bland, but yeah, I think that the pressure made a difference. He dialed up some blitzes. They got a cheap one down there on Elam there in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Yeah,
definitely got one.
So, but overall, offense played well, defense played well. I thought CD was smart. I saw him take himself out of the game a couple times. You could tell he banged that leg a couple times. So, but yeah, just an impressive win, man, and then we'll be looking at Denver next week. So just give me your breakdown of the defense. What did you see there?
Yeah. So what I think you got to do on both defense and offense, because you're a professional team and you're playing against other pros, you cannot be predictable in your what defense is going to come out, because if you're going to run zone 90% of the time, then they're going to get a comfort in running against your zone. They're going to find those spaces. But also with the zone, we talk about previous games, you don't have that guy on the front. You got middling to average pass rushers. So if they're not going to get there, then the quarterback has got all day to pick out the open man. Well, what do you do to combat that? Well, you run some zone, you run some man, and don't never know they'll never know what you're running. Be multiple on your defense. Then blitz a little bit. Just you got to make the quarterback think a little bit. You got to make the wide receivers and the quarterback think a little bit. I think he did that today just by mixing it up. That's what Dan Quinn did great when he was here, man. We didn't really have a lot of personnel here at that point in time either. But he did a lot of different things. Sometimes it came back to bite him, but at the end of the day, that's the way you're going to win games. I mean, you can't just sit back and be like, we'll let them throw for 450 yards and bend and don't break. Yeah, but at some point in time, they get into a rhythm, and you can't get them out of it. I just feel like Jaden Daniels or Mariota never really got into a rhythm today, and the Cowboys did great just by being multiple and getting up in people's faces sometimes, playing off sometimes when it's a long third and longs and fourth and longs and stuff like that. So I think they did a great job just being multiple. Um, and that I was listening to Boss Show a little bit. And he said he saw the hashtag dig was right, because he was like, you have to play a little bit of man. You can't be so predictable and play zone the whole time, especially when you pay two cornerbacks to be man covers.
Yeah, and what Eberflus did against the Jets, he had a similar game plan. He dialed up the pressure. Had some blitzes worked in. And the following week, he went back to his regular old tendencies. So, he just needs to be consistent because the players, they want to see aggressive football. These guys, they don't want to be in zone 90% of the time.
Correct.
Play up on the receivers. He deployed Donovan Wilson better today. Uh, and then you just had a lot of guys pitch in. Elijah
Yeah.
Clark played. Um, let's see, 25. I can't remember his name. Uh,
Yeah, I
so it
can't
was just
either.
some guys that normally don't play a lot. They stepped up and played, and really ended up doing a good job defensively. So Clark got injured. Did we hear any follow up on what his injury was?
No, I hadn't heard anything about it. I had, but I'll try to look around and see if I can find something. But I was looking at. Did one Yay play a lot today?
Now Wanye didn't play. He's been having migraines, so he was early scratch. He didn't play at all. He wasn't
Early
even
scratch. Okay.
active.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was looking for him and I
So
didn't see him out there. So
and
okay.
that's why you saw Elijah Clark playing a lot.
Yeah.
And then Bell. We talked about Bell. It's just puzzling to me that Bell hasn't played. I was never a fan of Bell playing linebacker, but in the nickel, just put him in the box and he can play the linebacker role. He did that today. They had him. He's just an active player. He just needs to
Correct.
be on the field, and
Correct.
you can just see it. And so, hopefully, like I said, Eberflus will just be consistent and just be more of a physical pressure and type defense because the zone thing working for us. And he showed some emotion today. Eberflus did on the
Yeah, they did.
sideline,
Yeah. And do you think?
and that's what I
I,
need.
I think that's. I think it's a Eberflus versus Diggs thing right now, because I think
Yep.
uh, Eberflus came out and played exactly the kind of defense um, that Diggs wanted him to play, but he did it without Diggs, right?
Yep.
This Diggs thing is going to be interesting because you're not going to be able to sell me on he's out with the migraine next week, right? So, I mean, not with a migraine, with a concussion next week. So I don't know what
Question,
kind of
yeah.
excuse. If he comes back next week, then I'm going to buy their story and say that they're not trying to save it for a trade. But if he's out next week, then it gets a little fishy, right? And so it's funny that you would change to a multiple defense playing more man when your historically best man cover guy's not there. You know what I'm saying? So, but also too, he's a little excited on the sideline. That's almost as though you ever seen these teams, professional football team or basketball team that are underperforming and don't like the coach. The coach get
Yeah.
fired, and then next game they go out and show out because what they're trying to show is that hey, it wasn't us, it was him. Look how we playing now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the same thing with Eberflus. Hey, it wasn't me, it was him. Look how we playing now. But you did
Yep.
change your strategy, right? So that's not 100% right. So I'll be interested to see how they do the Diggs thing this week. Is kind of going to tell me because there's some conspiracy theories out there about what they're trying to do with Diggs. But I think at
So
some
what
the
have you
rubber got to be.
what have you seen on it?
Well, no, it's the fact that this is not. This is what I heard initially that this is not really an injury or he didn't hurt himself at home. They're trying to find a reason to uh, keep him out the game so he won't get hurt, so that guarantee won't come in, and they can trade him. And so, but this concussion thing is only going to last a week, right? Like they're not going to have him in concussion protocol for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So I hope they don't, because it said it happened at home, it was accident at home or whatever. So the Cowboys have done things like that before, but I'm just kind of interested to see how this week's going to go with Diggs. He's supposed to be back for the Denver game. If they keep him out the Denver game with the same concussion, then they got the bye week too, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But because I don't know if this ain't front office politics, they've done things like this before where they kind of sabotage a player reputation in the media, and then because see, it's not just flukes that don't like Diggs. Jerry and Steven don't like him either. You know what I'm saying? They don't like it because of that. If you recall the first press conference at training camp, I mean, it was hard on Diggs, man. Then the 500K that he didn't get, and the guy came back early.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's a lot of hostility between both parties. And now that Eberflus is in it, and Eberflus is their handpicked guy. Well, you know what I'm saying? It was all hands on deck to try to prove Diggs wrong and Eberflus and the Joneses right. So they got the methods to tip the scale in that direction. But we'll see if he comes back this week. Then they wasn't trying to do anything. He might have did have a concussion at the house, and he's just back. He just missed a week, so we'll just see how that goes. But overall, they played well today. Ricardo.
Yeah. And on the Diggs thing, I think the Cowboys got this thing going with Micah and Diggs. They didn't really like either player, and I think them being close, is just another situation where they're just letting things get personal. And
Yeah.
so hopefully, with Micah's situation, we needed cooler heads to prevail, and they didn't.
Yeah.
So hopefully, cooler heads will prevail with this thing with Diggs, and they just, he comes back and he plays because I don't really like the way the Cowboys are making things personal with these players, especially
Yeah.
a coach like Eberflus. It's not worth you doing this thing with your locker room with this coach.
Yeah.
It's to me, he just, he's as average. He's an average coach. He's got questionable coaching methods and things that he's doing, and so I don't really think you should be doing this with your players for this coach. But Jerry does that though.
Yeah.
He
And see, the
did
thing
it.
is, when
Mm-hmm.
at some point in time, man, it's just not just a Dallas Cowboys organization, but owners and GMs. You expect them to be the more mature, the more level-headed, the more cool, the more business-orientated people, and not taking it personal. The players, they're 23, 24-year-old young men, so I can see them kind of getting out of character. But that's why they have agents, right? So, and that's why the only two people who really need to do negotiations is the GM and the agent, because they don't take anything personal. It's all about business. And then we're going to wrap this thing up. You know what I'm saying? We're going to wrap this contract up, and and everybody else, the people that feel personal about it, the person with the money who's the owner and the person that getting the money is the player. They have nothing to do with this. That's why we keep them out because we don't want emotions in this thing. And so anyway, I don't want to get too caught up on that because I did have
Yeah.
something to say that I think, and it may not. I talked to somebody about this and they kind of didn't believe it. So
Okay.
when CD got injured, the one thing I said that was going to be the good of that is that Pickens will now be your number one, and Dak Prescott is going to have to. That's a key word. He's going to have chemistry with him. So what I mean by that is this: whenever CD Lamb is there, I think when Cook was there, the reason why Cook never got chemistry with Dak because Dak didn't have to throw to him. He could always throw to CD. CD was getting upwards of 14, 13 targets, and Cooks was getting 3 or 4. Why? Because I'm going to go to CD all the time. He's my number one guy. Well, you're never going to establish if you're Dak Prescott. You're never going to establish a connection with Pickens if CD's still there because you'll never have to go to Pickens. So I would liken it to this. Are you right-handed, Cowboy Joe, or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay. So the best way to teach a young man that's right-handed how to use his left hand in basketball is actually to tape his right hand to his side where he can use it. And you put something
Hmm.
over it. So if you got a young man, 8 or 9, and you trying to make him mute, that's how they used to do. No, you're not going to do anything with your right hand. We're gonna take your right hand all the way away so you can develop your left hand. That's the same thing with Dak Prescott. You have to take CD out to develop your connection with Pickens because you're going to always use CD. And I think that was going to be a great thing for the offense. And you can kind of see it play out today. Whereas, if you count penalty yards, Pickens was over 100 yards in the passing game. That probably wouldn't have happened if CD's still here. Because you remember early on with CD and Pickens were out there together. Pickens was getting some looks. He wasn't getting the looks he was getting when CD was out. And so that chemistry only now that trust. You saw some plays he made today. He just threw the ball up to him and trusted him. Well, why I trust him
Yeah.
because I've seen this in the game before. And trust comes from previous experiences. That's the only way you can get that when the bullets are flying. So I think that's going to help the offense totally. And I think that today, both of them showed up and showed what they could do. And Dak showed that I'll go to either one of these guys. But when you show you can go to either one of them, you show you on this, okay, I'm going to go to CD steady for 5% of the time and these other guys. No, now the defense has to play you honestly. They got to play for Pickens to go deep. If you're going to leave one-on-one, we're going to go deep with it. I'm going to throw it up and let him make a play. Hey, if you want to double, CD, we're going to throw the ball on him. Hey, you want to put somebody on top of Pickens? We're going to throw it over to CD. So I like that, man. It's going to open up the offense, I think. And especially when CD gets all the way back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm really liking the way that Dak is now getting that chemistry with Pickens. That was a play early in the game, and I was telling Jules, uh, Pickens was running down the left sideline one-on-one with the corner, and Dak should have just threw it up. So the
Yeah.
more he does that, I just think they're gonna have better chemistry. And what I really like, what I saw today, as I said, CD didn't really feel like he had to come back and force the issue with himself. He took himself out of the game a couple times, and so I think CD is really embracing having Pickens on the field on the team. So yeah, it's just gonna get better and better. I think we tried to see we had a little bit of Turpin today, but man, I think our offense. The scary thing is I don't even think we've hit our peak, and we're putting up big points. So now if we can just get the defense to be more consistent, I think we're gonna be a dangerous team because I think this NFC East, the Eagles, they easily could have lost today. Uh, they always seem to figure out a way to win, but
Yeah. That's a champion
we'll
too, though,
deal
man.
with them. Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
the champs.
yeah, they champs. That's what it. And so I ain't gonna lie. Look at the game. They threw the ball around the field a little bit today too. So I got a
I
question
got
for you. You might be able to
yeah.
answer this for. I felt like Tolbert was the number 3 wide receiver today. When I feel like Turpin was supposed to be the number 3 wide receiver, and where's Flournoy after that performance he made? I didn't see a lot of Flournoy today, but on special teams.
So I saw something before the game, and someone was talking about the depth chart. You know, they always try to put out one. So they
Yeah,
did have Flournoy ahead of Tolbert, and so I think Turpin, they just trying to ease him back in. But the good thing is, you know, they all got talent, and so, but yeah, I think, uh, you know, Flournoy, he hasn't played as well as he did. Who was that? Who was that? He broke out against the Jets,
the Jets. Yeah,
but yeah, but I think he's still gonna be good. And then today we saw Blue do a few things. You know, people been really bashing Blue. You know,
yeah,
we win a game, and the outcome of the game is everybody bashing Blue. Uh, but Malik Davis was active and he didn't get a carry, which again, that's kind of
correct.
weird that they activated
Yeah,
him and didn't give him any carries. But so you know, we'll see how it all plays out. So all the content creators, they want us to make a trade, and so that's probably the next thing that we got to look at. A couple of the guys that we were trying to trade for, they injured now. I don't know if you noticed that. Uh,
uh, yeah. Who got hurt?
Hendricks got hurt, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
Simmons, the tackle from the Titans, got hurt. Now I haven't
Oh
heard anything about Crosby,
yeah. They
but
said they said everybody was available for a trade in Tennessee for Simmons
yeah.
and the rookie quarterback.
And you
Now,
know, Simmons is a better player than Clark to me. Well, I think Simmons is a true one,
yeah,
and Clark is kind of in between a one and a three. But
yeah,
we got to see what came out of the injury that he had today. But and then I thought Murray played better too.
yeah.
Uh,
I think he did too.
yeah,
But
you
I
got
think what
something
you
else?
yeah. So let's talk about Jaden Blue. I got his name here. I'm willing to give this kid a chance, right? And you cannot look at the carries he got to finish off a game because this, in those carries, man, those are the offense. The defense knows we're running because we're trying to run the clock out. So it's not like they got to be okay. We got to guess, so they're gonna throw, they're gonna pass. No, they're selling out to stop the run. So and
Yeah,
I think he had a couple of explosive runs in that. So it was promising to me. I like that they gave him a shot. They know what Malik Davis can do. They want to see what Jadon Blue can do with the 22-point lead and both teams is really waiting to run the clock out. I thought it was a great time to give him a chance. He had a great run, and Tolbert kind of did the holding, and it got called back. So I thought today he should have raised his value in the Cowboys' eyes to see what he could do because he hit some of those holes pretty fast and got 8 yards down the field before we even knew it. And then he got the first down at the end to kind of where we could take a knee. And that's against pretty much an 8-man front, man. So I think he showed. I think what he did today, he's earned more looks as a second running back.
yeah. I think you're right. I think people were kind of tough on him. Uh, I did like the way he played, and I want to see Malik Davis as well. And so, you know, this would be a good time. Look, this game next Sunday, it's gonna be a tough game. Uh,
It's gonna be
you
terribly tough.
playing at Denver. Yeah, it's you playing at Denver. Sean Payton, he gonna pull out all the stops. You can just guarantee that.
It don't matter who
He's
it
not
is.
gonna leave nothing in the bank.
It
Yeah,
doesn't. It's two places we play bad at traditionally, and you know this. I'm gonna say them, and you're gonna probably be like, "Yeah." We play terrible at
Denver and Arizona.
Denver and Arizona. Denver and Arizona. I don't
Yep.
know why. We don't. We never play well at Arizona, man. We never play well at Denver. I don't know if we've ever beaten Denver at Denver. I don't even remember us beating Denver at Denver. But
So we beat them in the '90s. The year we won the first Super Bowl, the '92 team.
yeah.
We beat there.
Look how long ago
If
that
you
was.
remember, a long time ago. So that was the
Yeah.
game where Jimmy Johnson pulled Charles Haley into a bathroom stall at halftime. And of course,
Oh, really?
you know, yeah, Charles Haley
Yeah.
probably could have cut Jimmy in half, but Jimmy pulled him into the stall and told him to get it together. But yeah, that was the last time we won there, I believe. So that would have been
Yeah.
'92.
And we don't play that
And
often, but we play Arizona often in Arizona, and we don't do
yeah,
well there. Yeah.
and we don't play that well with Arizona at home either.
Nah, we don't. Yeah, and especially with Kyler Murray, there, man. We do some struggling with them guys.
So yeah, it's going to
Who-
be. No, go ahead.
no, go. No, I'm looking at something. You can go now. I'm looking at something right now.
No, and I'm outside watching the dog. I told Jules, I said I want to do a show, and then my wife decided to help my grandson with his homework, and so I'm watching the dog, sitting outside trying to watch him and talk to you. That's why I'm not on the camera.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we
So
ain't got to
so
be on here long. Yeah,
you see what our schedule brings us. I even know this. So it brings us to Denver, and then we have Arizona at home. So yeah, we got both those.
yeah,
Those are that's what's from the outside. Non-Cowboy fans would be like, Denver's game going to be tough, but y'all ought to handle Arizona. Man, we have trouble with Arizona. I don't know
we
why,
do.
man. I bet we probably lost to them last 3 or 4 times we played them, man. Or we
And
1-3 or something.
and, and Kyle, he didn't finish the game today. The other guy, I can't
But
think
he
of
didn't
his name.
start.
He
He didn't
played.
start. He didn't start.
Oh, he didn't.
Nah, they said they expect him back for the Cowboys game.
Oh, okay. Well,
Just in time. Homecoming.
yep. Just in time for Dallas. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the week. We'll just kind of analyze this thing and break it down some more, and just kind of see what the fallout is from Diggs. I would just like to
Yeah.
see them just you know just let cooler heads prevail.
Yeah.
There's no reason to
But
be doing this with a player.
so what I like them to be the bigger person, like the front
Yeah,
office, right? And just be the bigger person and say, hey, can this guy help us? Yeah. Okay, so let's let him help us, right? And
yeah.
let's put him out there and see what he got. But I want to pivot one just to see so far. What's your opinion of? And I think I know it. But I just kind of want you to just expound upon it. Just Dak Prescott's play for this, to 2025 season.
So I think Dak is where Romo was at the end of his career, where he just mastered the game. When you see Tony Romo on the broadcasting the games now, he just knows the game. He knows the formations. He knows how to read defenses. So I think that's where Dak is. I think Dak hasn't mastered, the bringing him back in this offense with Shoddy. you know, Dak is just going next level because he knows the offense. He knows because you remember he used to struggle with like Vic Fangio. Well, people like that don't bother Dak anymore. He's just so mature and so seasoned. So, but yeah, I think he's having a MVP type performance, and I think it's just because he really believes in the offense. He got good players, and I just think he's gonna get better, man. I'm telling you, our offense, we just scratching the surface. We can actually play better, and
Yeah.
the offensive line, I'm still looking at Guyton. There's a couple of times when Guyton is still, kind of lose their handle on the guy that they blocking. But now Dak, I think he's just like he's where Romo was, and Romo just was just mastering the game. That's where I think he is right now.
Yeah, I just think that you're right. I just think you can't fool him at this point in time, right? He knows, and that's where you get to that cerebral. This is, I think, 32 and 30 and 31 in those areas is a time of a quarterback that's been around, man. Yeah, I think that's a sweet spot for. He still has the athletic ability, but now he almost has the mind of an offensive coordinator. So I think Dak's playing at MVP level. The record's not going to indicate that. But because Baker Mayfield's probably leading that cause right now. But I think Dak, he's playing outstanding. You know, from me and you and most content creators we follow, we've all known what type of player he is. We're not the Stephen A. Smiths of the world that just pretty much say Dak sucks and this, that, and the other when the guy was just an MVP, number 2 in MVP like 2 years ago. We know that most of these, like the Hurts has way better personnel around him offensively last year and defensively last year, and the Mahomes and the Allens can actually rely on their defense to make stops. Well, we haven't. Dak hadn't had that, and Dak hasn't had that this year either.
Yeah.
So anytime you give him stops, we win the game. As you see against the Jets, and as you see against today against Commanders, you give him a few stops, we're going to win the game, man, because he's going to put up 40-something, 30-something points a game. But we can't be giving up 30 and 40-something points, and then people looking at Dak Prescott like, what's wrong with you? I've even seen people last week complain that the last drive was on Dak. That was a bad play calling, but we scored 27 points on the road. That should be good enough to win, or get you in the ballpark to win, which it did. But he's been playing no different than he's just playing a little bit better than what we've used to him playing. And now people are starting to kind of come around, but people don't understand that it's not just what's the kid from Cincinnati? I think the quarterback.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, so Joe Burrow had a year, I think it was last year, a year before, where they were scoring 30-some points a game. They were losing 35 to 30. And he had all the stats in the world. At some point in time, you got to get a defense for this guy. You know what I'm saying? Or this is going to be your future. You scoring a lot of points, they scoring more. And so today, though, the defense did step up. We can I think the defense, getting off the Dak thing, I really think the multiplicity of the defense being multiple today it really helped out, man. And hey, you know what you can't do either? You can't stay in man forever. You can't stay in zone.
You got to mix it up.
You got to mix it up, man. You can't do neither one of those things to the egregious amount of 90%, man. That's crazy, to be totally honest with you. Only a few defenses in the history of football can tell you what they're going to do, and you couldn't do nothing with them because they're just that doggone good. The Bears with the 46 defense in '85. The Baltimore Ravens with their defense, and it was one more defense I'm missing. Oh, Seattle.
Tampa one was good too. Seattle.
Yeah,
too,
Tampa, absolutely. Tampa was good, and Seattle. I think those four defenses right there. Yeah, they can kind of tell you what they're going to do. They're just so good at doing what they're going to do. But if you're not one of those guys, now you got to be multiple, and you have to. One thing Shotty said coming into this year, he said we want to run a lot of different plays from the same formation, the same look, and what that's being is multiple. I don't want you to know by looking at how I form or how I line up on what we're going to do. I don't want you to be able to guess that, and I want you to, if you guess that, I want you to guess wrong because I want you to see this lineup and guess something's going to happen. But I got four other things coming out the same formation, and so I think the defense has to do some of the same things too. Man.
Yeah, and I think the defense just being consistent is going to be the key to the whole season. I really think Shotty, he probably went into the defensive meeting this week and talked to Eberflus, and and we just saw some changes. So hopefully, Shotty knows the key to this team is being balanced. That complementary football, and the defense has to carry their weight, and the players, they ready to accept the challenge. Guys, they want to play aggressive. They want to cover. We saw it today. Just like look at Bland. You throw the ball across the field with Deron Bland on the field.
Yeah.
He's gonna pick it off every time. And Mariota threw that ball across the field like that, and it was pick six. And Diz can do the exact same thing. Yeah,
absolutely, and absolutely.
Diz can do that, and so we saw Leo foul. Murray played better. I don't think Sanborn was on the field at all.
No, he
wasn't. And then Shamar James, he looks better. So like I said, we saw some guys, really show up on the defensive side. So next week it's going to be a really interesting game. We're on the varsity schedule now.
Yeah.
We got Denver coming up. But the Giants, FC East, it's gonna be a dogfight. I think all the way to the end.
No layups.
I think no layups. We played the Giants the very last game, and I can just think about it. We could be going to New York with the division title on the line or a playoff spot on the line, and just how classic would that be?
Yeah. So one thing that you said, I don't know if you heard on the broadcast, Shotty did go into the defensive room this week. So they asked him what he talked about. He said he just want to go give him a different perspective on things and just see. But here's the deal. That's his job. He's a head coach.
Yeah,
Your job is to
yeah,
run the defensive room too. You're not just an offensive coordinator. This is your whole team. So since this is your whole
yeah,
team, then that defense, if it fails, that's you failing, man. So that's just what it
yeah.
is. And so I'm glad he did go in there. I think Izaraku got his first sack today too. Uh,
He did.
yeah, I think he did.
Okay.
And one other thing, I remember last year they used to say you got to earn the right to pass rush. And what that means is you got to be able to stop people on first and second down. They did that better today. I think last week, you giving up to giving up running first down runs of 8 yards, it puts you in a terrible situation, man. And they did that
Yeah,
constantly last week. So this week they did a better job of that. With them, well, defensive stops. Like I said, somebody was keeping count of it on Twitter, and they got 8 defensive stops. So that's outstanding. If you give us 8 defensive stops, I mean, we're gonna, what I'm saying, we're probably gonna score enough points to win. Because 22 points, is that the lowest? Is that the lowest score? No, the Jets scored 22 also. So I think that's the lowest we've held people in scoring this year. Still there, Joe? I think we may have lost Cowboy Joe, but let me go and check and see if I'm gonna go and check. I think that was Izaraku. He may have gotten a sack. I'm looking at the stats right now. Yeah, he got one sack, so he got his first sack. Somebody, one of the content creators, had predicted that he'd get his first sack, so he did get his first sack today. So that was outstanding. Overall, a great performance. Hopefully, we can replicate that because we don't need a shutdown defense. We just need somebody to stop us every now and get the offense off the field every now and then. They did 8 today, so that was outstanding. And so we can continue that, man. Next week against the Denver Broncos, going to Denver, it's going to be tough, man. We've done that before.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, y'all back? Oh, you back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm back. His phone died.
Oh, it found out. Okay.
Yeah,
So I was just saying that next week in Denver is going to be a tough game. We've always had trouble in the Mile High City, man. So that,
yeah.
and then we have trouble with Arizona. So when the outsiders looking in, they might be like, "Oh, those games going to be, they're going to be Cowboys can win those games." Nah, man, we are behind the 8 ball on both those. I don't like going to play in Denver.
Yeah,
And
me neither. And Sean Payton, man, and then they lost today, so they're gonna be
yeah,
really trying
no,
to,
no, Denver won.
Oh, they won.
They scored 33 points in the fourth quarter.
I thought that the Giants had scored with like 13 seconds left in the game.
No, they scored with 37 seconds, and then they came back down and kicked the field goal with no time left and won 33-32.
Wow. Well, like my dad said, it is a possibility that we'll be going up to New York on that last game, playing for a spot because the NFC East is rocking and rolling. Those two
Yeah,
rookies up there, man. They
no, I was telling you, I said no layups, man, at all in
no.
that. So yeah,
Mm-mm.
it's
Well, they got their feel good game out the way. They got their feel good games, and then you seen that, like you were saying earlier, Dak had to get his chemistry on point with Pickens due to CD being out, and that's gonna prove to be good in the end because
I definitely will be, man. I think that's going to be huge because the thing. I'm looking at this. So Denver got they. This is interesting, man. They was down 20-0. But then they look at it. It's zero. Denver got 0 points in the first quarter, 0 points second quarter, 0 points in the third quarter, 33 points in the fourth quarter. Man, they said nobody's ever done that before.
Shotty and them keep saying the game is won in the fourth
Crazy.
quarter.
Yeah, well, they came back and I, of course, I'm rooting for them, but they came
Yeah.
back and got that game. So yeah, that made that put us in second place in the standings.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you got oh yeah, because we beat them and then they lost. So you got dang, what was I finna say? You got got the feel good game out the way. Oh yeah, Javonte going back up there to Denver. He ought to be
Yeah,
fired up for that game.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So hopefully he brings a little more juice. He got it already, but hey, what do you think about Blue today, man? I felt like he showed it. He was a good account of himself.
it's what's weird to me is just like with some of these running backs, they be good to me, but then it's just like for some reason when they get in, maybe they're not good, and I just think they are. Like Deuce, it's like every time Deuce got in the game, it's like the offensive line wasn't blocking for him. He was getting hit behind the field,
Well,
behind the line of scrimmage.
let me tell you what I told your dad because it was the same situation. I felt like, and this is just my feelings. So in the regular season, when Deuce got in the game, it usually was to close out games, right?
Right.
It wasn't never in like the second quarter or anything like that. And Blue closed out this game. But when you're closing out a game with a lead, the defense got 8 people in the box, right?
Yeah, they know you're gonna
They're
run.
not playing regular defense because they know you're not going to throw the ball. Why? Because you want the clock to continue to run.
Right.
So they coming into damn near a goal line defense that's designated to stop the run. And then we wonder, well, man, why he ain't run like the guy was running in the first, second quarter? You know, well, he ain't running against the same defense that guys running against either.
Yeah.
And so I thought, especially the play that Tober got called back because of his holding, he showed his speed and showed what he can do. Yeah. And on a couple of other plays, man, I thought he like 8-yard gains, 9-yard gains. I thought he did well because he saw the hole. Now he's not gonna make anything like he's not gonna move the pile. No. But I think if you give him a hole, he can hit it. I think this is what I told your dad. I think he did enough to warrant some more carries next week. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he did nothing to so where they can say, oh no, we got to go in a different direction. Yeah. So I think right now they're probably trying to give him some carries in these opportunities because well, maybe we do have to look at trading, but they're going to try to give him an opportunity to prove himself. And then if he does, then they can say, no, we're just going to go with Blue as our change of pace back or backup running back or whatever. So yeah, I didn't think he did anything to hurt his chances.
He didn't, but what I want to see them do, like with my whole thing with them getting with Pickens. See, like we have an offense right now that okay, against the Commanders, we're supposed to beat them. Our offense is supposed to beat their defense based off how they've been playing. Like for instance, they lead the league, or they're like at the bottom half of the league as far as big plays against. They get a lot of big plays against them. So we got the big play guy. We got the big play guy, in Pickens. So, on paper, we're supposed to dominate them in the offense. But see, what I want to see is us go up against a team like Denver, where it's just like, okay, we really got to show our skills and our talent. Like, we're going to have to use the chemistry with Dak and with Dak, CD, and George Pickens. And I want to see them do things with Blue. Like, for instance, I want them to be able to go in an empty formation and say, Blue, we're going to line you up against a linebacker. And we know you can, route him up and catch the ball, or we know you can, I want to see them use Blue to their advantage and use him as a weapon instead of just saying okay, well, we just need you to, it's 1st and 10. Here's the ball. Get 5 or 6 yards if you can. I want to see them use them okay, he's going in this play right here to do this against that player. That's what I want to see them do.
Yeah, like maybe one-on-one a linebacker or something like that.
Exactly, one-on-one with a linebacker. Like we line up.
One thing I looked at Blue college, and it wasn't like his in depth. I looked at his highlights, and some players, I think Blue ran like a 4.29 or something like that.
He did
in the combine. There's some players that look like 4.29, and there's some players that don't look like 4.29. And he didn't look like 4.29 to me.
Yeah,
because I feel like 4.29, you ought to be breaking a whole bunch of long runs, man. But he just didn't look that fast to me. And so I know he's a fast player, but I know like some players they 4.29, they look 4.29. You know what I'm saying? Everything else about a 4.29, you're like, man, that dude, man, yeah. Oh, like Hill, Tyreek Hill, fast, and he looks fast, and he out on the field, he's just faster than everybody else. But you know what I'm saying? And you can see it like, oh no, that guy fast. My wife can see it and be like, that guy moving. Yeah.
Like Micah ran a 4.4 in the combine. He looked like he run a 4.4.
He looked like 4.4. Yeah, he run people down like a 4.4, man.
He do.
He does crazy things like only a dude with a 4.4 can do that.
Right.
Like,
he did like that.
Guys,
yeah, like different type of speed.
Micah had 3 sacks today too.
Man, I seen it. He almost when they was asking him to close out at like in the locker room, he almost said "Go Cowboys." He had to stop. He had to stop himself. He did. You'll see it on ESPN. He had to stop
Oh,
himself. He was
yeah.
like, go pack." You know what I'm saying? He almost, but
Hey
it's
man,
just like
shout out
that.
to I think your cousin Colin Simmons. I think he's had 5.5 sacks over the last 2 games.
Man, he been balling. Now
Yeah,
we've been, now Texas. They, man, Arch is not that guy. I think my dad said that Arch was they have another grandson and another son that's in high school right now. And they say he's the
yeah,
one, and I can believe that, now.
yeah,
So, but it is what it is. Colin is gonna do his thing, man. I hope that he gets drafted to the Cowboys, and that's their big, oh, he got drafted, and that's their big Micah replacement. I hope that's the
yeah.
case.
Well, they
You
may
know,
do it because he's a hometown boy too, right?
yep.
Yeah. So he probably gonna be the #1 edge come out that the year he comes out. Not next draft, but should be the draft after that.
Yeah, him and Micah are like best friends, like for real, for real.
Yeah,
They've always
yeah,
been tight like that. Like they were tight like that when he was in high school. We would see Micah coming to his games when he was in high
yeah,
school.
yeah.
You know.
You supposed to go to Duncanville games back when he played because they had all them dudes. They had the quarterback, they had Caden Durham,
Yep.
then they had the wide receiver over at Oregon. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that was crazy, man, to have all those
Yeah.
kids on one team.
We would go to their games. It would literally be watching like a college team play a high school
Yeah,
team.
and the bad part about that is, and you might know this, yeah, all them dudes, man, they lost to DeSoto that year.
I graduated from DeSoto.
Oh, you did? Yeah, man,
Yeah.
DeSoto. That coach ain't DeSoto cold blooded, man.
Yeah, I graduated from DeSoto in 2007. So I graduated
Oh yeah.
with Von Miller. So,
Oh, okay, yeah.
I
Y'all
would be
had some players for that, man.
Yeah, I'll be torn I'm torn when we play Duncanville because that was our rival and that's our
Yeah,
rival. You know what I'm saying? So, but when I got Colin playing for them, it's kind of like I'm there, but I'm sitting on Duncanville sideline.
yeah.
So it's just it's just everybody we really we kind of like Houston. We got the thing going on, but like we root for each other. Like we're rivals,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
after we lose or whatever, the Soto people go for Duncanville people.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And vice versa. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So but yeah, man, this my dad was like his phone died and so I decided
Okay.
I'm gonna hop on and I'm gonna close us out and
Yeah.
then so but yeah, I listened to y'all whole show, so everything y'all was saying was spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to see us beat good teams, and I feel like the game, the feel good game is over. It's time to put up or shut up now because if you win these next 2 games, you're trading at the deadline. And if you lose these next 2 games, then you will be trading someone. You will be giving people away. So if and this whole thing with Diggs, I'm kind of like you. I think like the thing with Diggs is exactly what we think it is. I think it's him getting into it with the staff and him just saying, I don't want to do this no more. And I think that they're going to say, yeah, they're going to hold him out again so he won't get injured because of the clause in his contract. But I'm hoping, like my dad and like you, I'm hoping that he just come back next week and cooler heads prevail and that just
Correct.
is what it is. But I really think that it was just like, nah, I'm not. I'm not feeling this anymore, and I don't want to. I really don't think he want to play for the Cowboys anymore. Me personally.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it is a lot of advantage playing for the Cowboys
Mm-hmm.
versus say Green Bay or Seattle or somebody like that. So you know, if I'm him, I'm saying, okay, how can we get to a happy medium here where I can play and we all good? You know what I'm saying? To where y'all ain't throwing me under the bus. I'm not saying that about y'all in the what's called in the media, and we can we all just get along? You know what I'm
But
saying?
see,
And so
that's what kind of makes me nervous because it was just like you said earlier. It's just like but you gonna go out here and you gonna play multiple D, knowing that that's what he wants you to do, and
yeah,
you gonna do it while he not here.
yeah.
It
And
doesn't make
that's the
any
thing
sense.
is almost, well, we the most petty organization as far as
Yep.
our players are concerned in
Yeah.
probably sport. And
Yep.
and the pettiness comes from it not being business decision. It comes from being personal
Personal.
decisions, and that personal
Like
decision comes from the owner, vice president being too involved in it. Whenever you get professional GM and a professional agent together, they act with professionalism. But when you get these other guys that's in their feelings, that's when you get this kind of stuff that comes out.
Because think about it like this. I'll say two things about that, then we can wrap. Think about it like this. A GM that doesn't have any personal ties to the organization or any personal ties to these business deals, what would make this GM offer a player the most money ever for a non-quarterback position, and then after he offers it to him, reneges on it and says, "Nah, we don't want to do that no more. We're gonna trade you." Like that just I don't like for instance, if you were a GM, right, and you wanted to get this guy signed and you offer him the highest pay, that's what you want to do. You want to get him signed. That's what you want to do. So it's just like there is no what would have to happen for him to backtrack.
So let's go. Let's talk about this. I'm the GM. I have Michael Parsons, and I want to sign him to the highest. So let's go back to the reason I want to sign him to the highest contract, because he hit the right number on his age. He's at a good age. I think he's 25 or 26. His arrow is pointing up. What he is he's an eraser. So if I have other people that can't play good on the inside, he's a one-man sack.
Yep.
And so the thing about it is I don't have to scheme this guy up. I don't have to do all that stuff to him. I can just let him go get at the quarterback. Yep. He runs a 4.4 40. Offensive linemen have trouble with a guy that fast. Well, who else runs that fast as a defensive end? Well, nobody. So I'm saying to myself, I must sign this guy. So I'm going to offer him the most in the league. Because why? It is my job to keep a winning franchise, a winning roster here. Mm-hmm. If I don't keep a winning roster, then I can lose my job. And I always go back to this. Because no other GM would offer him that and then say, "No, we're going to trade him." You have to be comfortable in your
position, in
your job status to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And so they that's why no other GMs go at their players in the media in negotiations. Why? It doesn't serve them any purpose. It serves them only to have bad will towards that player and also in the people in the locker room that's coming up for deals. They're like, "Wait a minute, you treated that guy like that? How you gonna do? I'm not even close to that guy." And
nobody wants to deal with that.
Nobody. So the GM can't have a reputation of being a hard behind. You know what I'm saying? He can't have that. And that doesn't mean that he don't go in there and negotiate the best deal he can. But he knows going in what this guy's worth, right? Mm-hmm. Like these quarterbacks that go in and you're like, yeah, it's gonna cost us about $55, $58 million to sign this guy. You know it going in. If you can save some money on the backside, that's good. If you sign him 55, that's good. But it's just a cost of doing business. And when I say that, it's a cost of doing business. That's all it is to most GMs and most agents. It's just business, man. It's not personal.
That's all it is business.
Yeah, it's just business, just numbers, man. It's just, hey, this is what. Hey, I'm looking at all the information out there. Hey, my guy's the best guy. The guy right now that's getting paid the most is getting paid 42. Mm-hmm. We want more than that. My guy's younger than that guy. My guy's more productive than that guy. So we want 45 million.
It's just like I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just my dad asked me the other day, what is Pickens worth? Pickens is worth $29 million. That's what he's worth. I mean, that's what he's worth. That's just what he's worth. I mean, so if they should know right now that you're gonna have to pay him like $28 million. I mean, that's like if you were to tag him, that's how much the tag is. And if you look on like Spotrac right now, it tells you how much each player is worth based off how they're playing. And it says that he's worth about $28 million. And it says that Javonte is worth about 7 or 8. And so it's just like, these guys, they worth what they worth, man. I mean,
that's what it is. They're worth what they're worth. Yeah.
They're worth what they worth, man. I mean, like, is Dak worth $60 million? I mean, he's playing like it.
Well, to me, you're worth what they pay you. So let me ask you a question. Pickens or Amon-Ra St. Brown?
I would say Pickens.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. Pickens or Brandon Ayuk?
Pickens.
Pickens or Terry McLaurin?
Pickens.
Pickens or Garrett Wilson?
Pickens.
Pickens or DK Metcalf?
Pickens is yeah.
Okay, so I named everybody with the exception of Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, which I think you would take all three of those over Pickens, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say really I was gonna say those guys you named, they're in that second tier, and George Pickens was in that second tier, but he's kind of moving on to the first tier.
Yeah. So let me tell you what I'm telling you. So if I'm his agent, DK Metcalf is number 4 in pay this year with 33 million. Next year, I'm not taking anything less than $35 million for him.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So
Now,
yeah,
also you got to think about. Oh, also you got to remind. I have to remind Pickens as well. You know, as from on a negotiation standpoint, the reason why the reason why you're playing like you're playing is because of the quarterback that's throwing it to you. So don't think that if you about winning, yeah, you can get 35 million and go to the Cardinals or who not the Cardinals, but you know you can get there wherever you can go, you can get that.
yeah, let's say the Cardinals.
Yeah, you can go get that. You know you're not gonna win nothing, but you can go get that. But if you want to take 30. You know, you can stay here.
So if I'm Pickens, you know what I'm asking you?
What?
So you mean to tell me I should take 30 and stay here and win when you ain't won in 30 years? So I'll take 35, go to the Cardinals. And look, the thing that we can't control is if we're going to win a Super Bowl. I can't control that. I can control my play, and also I got to control this $5 million extra that they're going to pay me.
Yeah.
So I gotta take the most money.
Hey.
Because this ain't New England with Brady. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Kansas City with Mahomes. This is Dallas Cowboys that have not been to the NFC Championship game. So you can't sell me on that.
I think that's why Dak and CD is treating him like how they treating him. That's what I think. Yeah. I think that like they are like so amped up on this brotherhood thing because they know they don't want him to leave at all. You know?
Can I tell you where the problem happened again? I'll reiterate. I am on the phone with Pickens before the trade and Pickens' agent and say, hey, man, look, man, we want you here. We think you can do great things. But we don't want you for 1 year. We want you for 3 or 4 years. Yep. And so what we like to do is what you're making now, I don't know how much he's making, but we want to give you $28 million a year.
They would have never done that.
Who is that?
The Cowboys. They would have never gave him 28 off the rip.
Well, the thing is that if you could see, that's the issue. You know what GMing is really? Yeah. Identifying what players are going to be before they are it.
We suck at that.
And if you suck at it, you can always pay at the top because you need too much information. And so what you want to look at is that, okay, Pickens is over here being the best player with trash at quarterback. So what's going to happen when he comes over here with Dak Prescott? And he got CeeDee Lamb on the other side. He's going to show out.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing at that point in time is saying, hey, man, look, your stats right now only warrants $28 million, $27 million. But if you understand what he's going to become and what he's going to be for your offense, then you go ahead on and sign him already. That's what I'm saying. You go ahead on make that contingent. I would even trade him if it wasn't for that.
I was going to say, me too. And I was going to say, like, you gave, like, they do a bad job at that. And then they do a bad job at signing their own, overpaying their own people that's not that good. Like Osa, that you should have, I don't know if you should have, you know.
The reason, let me tell you about Osa. The problem with that is listen to some people talk. They didn't have many defensive tackles on the market to replace him with.
They didn't. And I
was like, well, who's out there? And somebody said they had the list. Osa was the number 2 defensive tackle. I was like, damn, he got him. Because you got to pay him.
Yeah, you got to. And then it's just like with Michael Gallup. You let Amari Cooper go. Now, if you paid Michael Gallup about $20 million a year, that's how much it used to be. I think it was like 18, 9 or something like that.
He's making about 14 to 15 million. But it's still close enough to where it wasn't that much difference between him.
Okay, so if he's making 14, 15, then you should. George Pickens is definitely double his production for sure.
Yeah.
So you just gonna have to just take the L and pay this man $30 million. That's what you're gonna have to do. I don't know if you're gonna have to either switch on a contract or you can't afford it. Well, I don't know what you're gonna have to do.
Now, one thing they can do is they can franchise him next year.
Well, I mean, that's franchise. So you kind of defeating the purpose. You might as well sign.
if you franchise him, it's dollar for dollar against the cap.
You might as
So
well
it really
sign him.
it really hamstrings you on the cap. But see,
Yeah.
the front office never really mind doing that. Other GMs can't do that because they don't want to be hamstringed about acquiring other players that's going to help the overall team. The Joneses don't really care. Again, I hate to be a broken record because they can do it because there's no repercussions behind them doing it, right?
Well, I hope they do it or sign him because I think if I think that the way that this team is built, if they are going to sign Pickens and they know that right now, then they are definitely not trading for anybody. That's not happening. They're not going to
No.
trade for anybody at the deadline because they're going to need that money to whoever they got to pay, and then they're going to need them picks for whatever they're going to trade because they not.
But the thing about signing a player long term is that you actually reduce the
The cap
yearly
hit.
cap hit. Yeah. So it actually works better. That's what everybody's talking about. That's why it's hard for me to even talk to people that be like, man, Dak making $60 million a year. And here's the deal: the Cowboys actually do. They almost they don't do their cap right because they don't defer any money off to lower the cap hit yearly. No, Dak probably cap hit. If I go to Spoke Rack right now,
It's probably like 40, 30 or
I
something.
think it's more than that, man.
Yeah,
It's
probably.
crazy.
Yeah. No, it's probably crazy. And then on top of that, that's not, like they do it wrong. They do it wrong. When you look at the Eagles, all the Eagles players, they cap hit be like they be making $1 million a year, all of them. All their money be pushed out.
Absolutely. So
Yeah,
Dak's cap hit, you was kind of right. It was 44 million this year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's 50 million, and then it's 70 million after that. No, so I'm sorry, it's 50 million this year. It's 50 million this year.
Woo! Now, if Dak converts like, I don't know, like 20 million into a signing bonus or whatever, and then pushes some out, he'll only make, like let's just say he converts, 15 million to a signing bonus and then only makes, 3 million next year. Then that means that they can sign. That's how they would be able to free up. Like, they'll be able to free up whatever his cap hit was gonna be.
And it's I know you said Dak, but it's really the organizations. They do that on their own. Like they don't even call the player; they just do it. Like they can just because the player don't mind getting the money up front, right?
Right, and then, but I was trying to figure out why. So why? Because I haven't done my investigations, but I know it don't work like that. But why was Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco saying that they had a show on YouTube a couple days ago that said, "Will Dak Prescott take a pay cut to sign Pickens?" How would that even happen? How could Dak take a pay cut?
It does. That's what you call clickbait. You're just trying to get people to listen and rage.
Yeah.
That's gotta be what that is. That's the only thing it can be.
But I was telling my cousin, I can get you $30 million easily right now.
Yeah.
Like, Terrence Steele next year not being here, that's like 14 or 15 or something. That's like 12 or whatever it is. And then you got a couple more players like Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, or it's a.
Well, you got to remember they already got cap space.
They already got
cap space already.
And they're gonna have it next year. So
they're gonna have even more next year when the salary cap goes up. Yeah,
they can sign him, man. They just gonna have to do the right thing. And then and then Trayvon. I'm gonna say this. I gotta wrap up because I gotta go finish my homework. It's due at like in 2 hours. But like, look, like, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you good. Yeah, I can hear you.
So like Trayvon, Stephen Jones could have easily said, he got a concussion and he's at home. He got a concussion at home. He's not playing this week, and that's what it is. But he said no comment. It's kind of like you saying no comment. Like you saying no comment, like saying that he got a concussion at home is not it's not like a realistic thing to say. You saying no comment as if like I'm not commenting on that, and I'm not going to comment on it. Like you just kind of gave it some disdain. It's just like, why would you say no comment if he was just a concussion and he coming back next week? You made it seem like no comment, like the story wasn't out there that he got a concussion at home. Like that's not. It's just that would be the equivalent of like someone getting a concussion in the game, and then them asking what's the status on this player next week, and then Stephen Jones says no comment. Like,
Well,
What?
he could have said that. I didn't hear him say that, but he could have said that to keep it out there, like make it like it's some nefarious things that happened for him to get a concussion.
That's what he
Uh,
did.
and
That's
and
what he did.
and he had. I'm surprised that Diggs hadn't said anything either. So they might. We just have to see, man. This week gonna tell us a lot about the Diggs scenario. To be honest with you, so I'm trying to see if they be like, well, yeah, he ain't gonna come back again because he got a concussion. Nah, they must have made some kind of handshake. Hey, man, look, we're gonna pay you, but we don't want you at the team no more. We're gonna try to trade you at the deadline, and we don't want to, say nothing bad to hurt your trade status or value. So, we want to just say there's a concussion, and what I'm saying, we'll just see how this goes because it's interesting how this playing out right now.
Us Cowboy fans, the ones that's really, really fans that's seen this before, that's what we think it is.
Yeah, yeah. So
And
we'll
so,
see. But look
but
at Jules. I guess we'll wrap up, brother.
yes, sir. So y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I've got the links to the channels in the description, guys.
Yeah.
So and we appreciate everybody for coming through. Shout
Hey,
out to
so
you. Go ahead.
let me just tell everybody. Hey, so most people are gonna see this on the rewind, man. We definitely appreciate y'all listening to us, taking y'all, Sunday after the game to listen to our thoughts on these games and Denver coming up. Saw a lot of good things today from the Cowboys. Hopefully they can build on it. We've had wins before where we've had a win, then we go back down, then we have a win, then we go back down. But we want to just continue to build on this win, build on this performance by the defense. Dak's having an MVP year. We don't want that to be a waste. We got Pickens and CD at wide receivers, probably the best tandem in the league right now. And Ferguson playing good at tight end for what he does. So got the running game going. All we need is a few stops from the defense, man, and we're gonna, we'll win games. But I just want to just tell everybody, the people that was in the chat, the people that's gonna watch this later on, just say we appreciate y'all supporting us. Fastcast, like, share, and subscribe to those guys, and B Bird Cowboys, like, share, and subscribe to us, man. It's been great being on with y'all for this hour.
Yes, sir. And we appreciate it. I appreciate you, B Bird. So we'll get with you this week because we got Denver
Yeah,
coming up. This is gonna be a big week. So we'll probably get with you and get on, I don't know, Wednesday or so, something like that.
yeah, sounds good. Y'all just get in touch with me, man. We'll get it going.
All right. See you.
Take it easy, man.
Take it easy.